Hi, it's Chris from VR Accessibility, and our goal is to make VR and extended reality experiences more accessible to people with different or limited abilities. Now, this first episode, I want to talk about this. This is the Oculus Go. It just came out yesterday, and it is bringing the quality, or close to the quality, of a more expensive, more tethered experience into a mobile-friendly and actually face-friendly device. I'll tell you, the strap is great, the foam eyepiece is awesome, the lenses are great, and the resolution is very, very clear. Great experience. And the strap has this open-ended thing, which makes it also accessible to people who have big hair like me. Okay, moving on. The setup was pretty easy, just using my iPhone and an app, and it connects with the Oculus Go, and you can check your battery level, you can download apps, you can check the status of your account, do a lot of things with that. Easy setup, just follow the directions. Another great part is this hand controller, and it really brings me out of what I had been used to, which is a cardboard, which really only had one button. This button changes a lot of things. You can navigate not only within the menu system in the VR environment, but you can also move in a way that maybe you wouldn't otherwise be able to do with a cheaper, more limiting iPhone version. So this is really a great addition to this great product, and I want to move on now and just get into a couple of experiences that I had with a few apps that I tried with the brand new Oculus Go. So the first app I looked at was the Within environment, and I had seen this before in the mobile phone cardboard system, and of course with the Oculus it's a much greater resolution, but I was familiar with some of the titles, and it really gave me a chance to compare how, and really contrast how much better the graphics are with the Oculus. Also, most of the videos in the Within environment are 360, which is great, but for somebody like me who doesn't really have the mobility and I can't just turn my wheelchair around 360 degrees and hold onto a controller and not run into something, it allows, through the controller, the ability, by swiping left and right, you can actually pan the camera. I stay in the same spot, but the scene revolves around me, which is great, especially with 3D content that there may be something over here or something over there. But every individual movie or little experience within the Within app is curated. They're really high quality production, very interesting topics. There's some familiar styles like documentary or news magazine, very short subject, animation, narrative, live action type experiences, as well as a little more abstract, a little more digital experiences that are really awesome for the VR world. Almost look at it as like a short film festival, and you can pick from the menu which film you'd like to see in the VR environment. The first one I looked at was Walking New York. It's like a micro-documentary. It really lent itself well to the VR experience, especially in the 360. There's a shot where you're in a helicopter and you can look down on Manhattan and look around you. And because of the subject matter, which is really interesting, it actually played well to the VR environment, or they adapted the VR environment and experience to the subject. And it's a nice match, and you just watch it, you'll see how well that plays, and really brings a new experience to what is a very old form of storytelling, and that's the documentary. The next one I looked at was Take Flight. I had seen this before, both on an Oculus Rift as well as the cardboard, and this is somewhere more in between, a lot closer to the Rift version. Again, great graphics, interesting kind of non-narrative storytelling, a little more of an experience, and it really flowed well in the VR. And also, this is another one where I could use the scrolling aspect to the controller to see around me and see things, because I'm following somebody. You want to see where they're going just naturally, but I didn't have to move my body or my wheelchair to get there. I could use the controller, which is really terrific. Okay, now the third and last one that I want to get to is the evolution of verse, made by a filmmaker, Chris Milk. This is a digital experience, relatively short but very rich in graphics. Really seems to bring a lot of the best of the 3D environment as well as the VR full stereoscopic viewing experience. You just have to see it. It's really fantastic. And I think it's really my pick of the week if I get one. 2 thumbs up for Evolution of Verse. I think you'll like it too. And that's about it for Within. Now the last one I want to talk about is the Star Wars Droid Repair Bay. Very funny, very whimsical, but there are a couple aspects about it that are really important, have something to do with accessibility, and how immersed I felt in this environment. Now, it wasn't real. It wasn't all these other ones were more video or video-like. This was, you're obviously in a animated or computer-generated equipment bay on this spaceship, but it felt like you were there. It didn't have to be realistic, but the sensation of presence, of being somewhere in this place, was very strong. I really felt like I was there. And you could interact with the components. You could open up the droid and replace a chip, all using the controller, and you kind of point it and it turns into like a little lightsaber perhaps, or a laser pointer, and you could pick up things using the trigger and drop them off. Easy to do, it's kind of fun, it's whimsical, but it really gave a sense of it's a good entry level for people that maybe hadn't done any interaction in a VR headset with a controller. This really does, and it was fun. I had fun playing with it. I actually did it a couple times because I actually found it kind of relaxing and peaceful. So boy, if you have a couple of minutes to kill, or you just want to chill out and fix some robots on a spaceship, you can do that with this app. So with that, I want to come to a close and say that I am very impressed so far with this Oculus Go. There have been some improvements in accessibility and the way I can interact that I haven't been able to find, or were limited because I had to turn 360 with other devices. So I'm going to keep up with that, keep exploring new apps, and I'll be at the VRLA conference this weekend and hope to find more content creators and VR companies that are working not only on making fantastic and amazing VR experiences, but also making them more accessible to people like me and people like you. All right, thank you.